Welcome to a little dab of do ya. Always, we want to begin today's message with a shout out to A Boogie. Shout out to my boy A Boogie behind the scenes making this thing stay mean. You feel me? Giving us all these new toys to bring in a new creation to a simple product, which is just a really quick message, a little dab of do ya. So today, hold on. Before I get into today's message, are you feeling the hat? Can I get an applause for the hat? Okay. I'm going to take this hat off and get down to business. Today's message is, you have the audacity. You have the audacity. You have the audacity to believe that you have time. And I'm here to tell you today, in a little dab of do ya, that you do not have time. In fact, time is the one thing that you don't control. Out of all the other factors in which you may have control of, time is not one of them. Now, you may be saying, well, David, how do you know that? Well, you may say that time is not real. Time is a Eurocentric structure developed by the European. Or time is just an ideology that we have constructed and it is not real. But as a country boy from Taylor's, I'm here to tell you, old time is real, my friend. And how do I know? Because one thing that nature will let you know, that there is a time for everything. You may know it as seasons, right? And in the country, it is very apparent that there is multiple seasons, and you can't cook collard greens during the same season you cook watermelons, because it ain't working, baby. You know what I mean? Everything has a time and everything has a season, and the same goes with life. You can't get collard greens and watermelons in the same season. And what are you doing? Having the audacity to think you can. Because you guys out there are trying to do the same thing in the wrong season and wonder why it ain't working. Because you got the audacity to think it will. And it just won't. Because everything in life has a season in which you don't control, but you do need to adjust to, and everything has timing. Because, using my farm analogy one more time, you may plant a bamboo tree today, but it's going to take you 5 years before you see a bamboo. Now, you may think that's a long time to wait on a bamboo tree, but I'm here to tell you, after you wait the 5 years, it only takes about 1 week for that bamboo tree to grow 5 feet tall. Because it's all about timing and season. And you guys have the audacity to think that you don't have to worry about time or timing. I'm from Pittsburgh. You know, when I grew up and left the country, I went off to school and went to Pittsburgh. And one thing I learned when I was living in Pittsburgh, I heard a story about this young man called One Shot Teenie Harris. Now, Teenie Harris was a black and white photographer back in the Black Renaissance era. You know, this is around the 30s and 40s when, you know, there was a lot of racial segregation, you know, Jim Crow and all these things going on during this time period. And, you know, for blacks, you know, financial stability was not the best, you know, and they didn't really have a lot of means. So Teenie Harris, already doing something that wasn't quite the glamorous job, being a photographer at that time, he could not afford to purchase a lot of exposure for his pictures because he was a photographer. And so in order for him to take his films and take his pictures, he had to get so good at taking photos that he could only take one because he only had enough money for the exposure of one photo. And he became so good at taking photographs that they named him One Shot Teenie Harris because he was going to get the shot in one sitting. What is the message that I'm trying to tell you people who have the audacity? You have the audacity to think that you got time for multiple exposures. No, you don't. You can't even afford multiple exposures. Matter of fact, the creator hasn't even given you or guaranteed you multiple exposures. You only got one shot. Nas said you only get one mic. Eminem said you only get one shot. And Jay-Z said he only got one problem and a bitch ain't one. But I'm here to tell you this. Timing is the key. Processing is the magic. And you have to get over yourself and realize that you got to stop having the audacity to think you got time for multiple exposures, because you don't. You only have one time, and that time has to be at the perfect time, because if you want to have a watermelon, you got to do it in due season. So this is David Burton and a little dab of do you saying, make sure if you want things to happen in your life that you do them in due season, because that's the only way it's going to work. Stop having the audacity to think it's going to happen any other time. Be global, stay global. You feel me?